And no disrespect to ladies on the panel, but everybody up here has done it at one point in time on this show.
I've never used that term, so I can't relate to that.
I don't know, paying for your bills, that would be something your husband does.
It's nice to have a man take out the trash, but that doesn't mean I'm too good to do it.
If you were out with your boyfriend and three big hyena from the chat were trying to jump you for being a pick me, would you not expect your boyfriend to help you fight these big? Yes or no?
So, if a man refuses to do husband duties before marriage, is he a red flag?
I don't know what husband duties are. I'm kind of with Willie. I don't. What is husband duties?
If we gonna ask them questions, we need to, because this is what happens.
I think that was the question I had. Like,
and no disrespect to ladies on the panel, but everybody up here has done it at one point in time on this show. If you ask them questions about if they do a thing, you have to have them define that thing so you can hold them to it. Because if you don't, they're gonna move the goalpost to the 50 fucking yard line every time we have these conversations. So before we need to ask them, hey, what are husband duties to you? And then let them answer after that.
I've never used that term, so I can't relate to that. I never say a man. I'm waiting for this man to do husband duty. I've never said that. Don't look at me like that, Will.
So then you feel like from off rip, there's nothing to you. So you feel like there's nothing to look forward to after the marriage outside of tax benefits. Then is that the case? Do you think that's the only difference at that point?
I think we just
there's no different treatment.
I just be trying to I just feel like we pushing titles on all this stuff. I never said this man needs to perform these things in order for me to do X, Y, and Z. I do. I don't know. Some other lady, maybe fully please help.
Go ahead, Toya.
I just have a question.
Oh fuck.
No,
I just want to know what the marriage benefits are that they're saying that like what they expect. I really want to know, like genuine questions.
That's cool. You'll answer that after you answer the question that we're talking about right now.
Right.
Having women define what marriage benefits are for men. What are husband duties for men? That's what we're talking about right now.
I can't tell you. I don't know.
So Trev,
husband duties, I guess, would be, I don't know, paying for your bills. That would be something your husband does. Or like being your emergency contact, or like merging finances. That's something you do with your husband. No, I don't know.
So Trev, okay. This is what's going to happen, but at least two more times before we get to Jay. What's going to happen is no one's going to define it, and the ones that do try to define it, they're going to pick the obvious shit: paying bills, paying your rent, being on insurance. They're going to pick that shit because they know that. But what they're also going to conveniently leave out are the things like protecting you. Like you're saying, going and check the bump of the night, fixing shit, taking care of the man shit, doing your husband
doesn't have to be the only one protecting you. That's so ridiculous.
Right.
So two things, right?
Okay, Willie, you got it.
I don't agree with that.
This is the cool part.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that's a husband duty.
All you have to do is wait your turn to talk, and you'll get your shit off. So this is what women do every time we have these conversations. Is that they always try to nitpick the easy shit so that way they can deflect from answering an honest question. When what she just said and how it works, she kept pouring. The real answer is because she did all that shit and didn't get the end result she wanted, which was a forever relationship. That's the answer for every one of these women up here, but none of them are going to be honest and say that. And it's not, excuse me, I'm not going to say it's been dishonest in everybody's case, but they're not. They watch Titanic, they watch Bambi, they watch Cinderella, they watch The Princess Frog, they watch Beauty and the Beast and think all this fairy tale is going to happen for them. And then when they go do it for the wrong man, they say, okay, well, I'm never doing that again, as if doing the right thing for the right person is going to get you the wrong outcome. And since they picked so bad in the past, consecutively and consistently, they think that doing the right thing is the wrong thing because they ran through.
I was just gonna say, I learned at a young age not to, and this is me being married young, 24, having 3 kids at that time, but I learned at a young age that try not to ever allow a person to change who you are authentically. And so I carry that no matter where I am. I try to see the good in somebody. I try to take people for, what they show me. I would say like qualities that I think of a husband is somebody, obviously Willie said the protection. I don't really necessarily even, I I would say focus on like, oh, okay, he's paying all my bills. He's going to put me under his insurance. I think that, you know, like you're contributing to your household. Yeah, it's nice to have a man take out the trash, but that doesn't mean I'm too good to do it. I know, Toya, you said something about protection. And a man isn't the one only supposed to protect, but however, I'm looking at my man to protect. You know, my protection for him would be more emotional protection, support, that type of thing. But those, I look for that. I'm not sure if that's where you're going with it, but we're not both
Jay,
going to
he
be
was
like
saying that your husband is going to be the person protecting you, and I'm like, doesn't have to be your husband that's
not what I
protecting you.
was
Your
saying at
boyfriend
all.
can protect you.
That's what you wanted me to be saying, so you can have that argument.
That's
But
what
nobody
Trev
says what I was saying.
Trev
It's exactly
says.
what Jay was
Really,
saying.
I asked what the
Exactly.
husband benefits were, and I said, and you asked
that
me
question
a
because you didn't
question,
want to answer the
and
question
I
that was
said,
being
okay, maybe like paying your bills and merging finances and this, that, and the
So,
third. And then you said, well, protection. And I'm
no,
like,
that's
okay, but
not how it
your
went.
husband doesn't have to be the only one protecting you.
So let's point out a few things. One of the things that you're good about is doing what you're doing right now, and it's having a conversation that nobody else had. You wanted to answer a question because you didn't want to answer one. So you asked a question that we weren't even talking about yet. Jay said exactly what I was talking about. And the reason why she said it perfectly is because none of you would even want to marry a man who didn't show you that or make you believe he would protect you as he was your boyfriend. That is something you expect of a husband, is it not? Is that not something you also expect of your boyfriend? If you were out with your boyfriend and 3 big hyena bitches from the chat were trying to jump you for being a pick me, would you not expect your boyfriend to help you fight these big bitches? Yes or no? 5 seconds of silence means absolutely. So that's my point. Like, y'all can't even have an honest conversation about these types of things.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. That's not necessarily a husband benefit.
So we're saying that's not a husband duty.
It's not. So listen. So wait.
You just said the boyfriend.
To be clear, it's not. So you guys don't expect your boyfriends to protect you while you're out.
So I think the differentiating thing is they're saying what's the additional.
Yes or no? Do you expect your boyfriend to protect you while you're out with him?
The answer to that is yes.
Yes, that's why it's not a husband duty.
Now,
that's what we're saying. We're saying what you're saying.
If your boyfriend got his ass beaten, didn't protect you, so now y'all both got beat up, would you still look at him as a viable candidate to be a husband?
I would.
5 seconds. It takes too long. See, this is how easy this is.
Go.
This is easy.
I'm talking.
I'm sorry, I was muted.
It's a delay.
I wasn't even talking to you, Keisha. I was talking to Toya. I know you're gonna answer the question. You know my 5-second rule. Because we've done 1,000 shows together. But again, that's my point. You can't even.
We both got beat up. Nah, we both down bad. Bad. I can't protect him about against these women, and he can't protect me either. So what are we doing at this point? What are we doing?
Breaking up, hopefully.
Getting a pow.
We got beat up by some girls. Me and him. Both of us got beat up by some girls. We down bad.
Yeah, y'all should break up immediately. If your
we
boyfriend
both can't protect each other. We need to go home to our parents at that point.
Hold on, are we trying to act like we don't know what like husband duties and stuff?
Yes, they are. And y'all
We're trying to say what's the difference between boyfriend duties and husband duties. Keisha's saying for her there's no difference. There's no progression from boyfriend to husband other than them signing a certificate and having a wedding. She's saying that there's no progression. Everything she expects from a boyfriend, she's expecting from a husband. So, and I think I'm sorry, Toya, I don't know what we're talking about, but I guess the difference, the question is what progression are we expecting from someone you're dating to someone you're married to? What additional things are you expecting once you sign that marriage certificate? Keisha's saying there's no difference. I expect everything from you when you, my man, the same I expect as you or my husband. So that's what she wants to know. What additional things from boyfriend to husband are we now expecting men to participate in or to do or whatever? From Keisha, she says there's no difference for her. But Toya, I don't know if there's a difference between when someone progresses from boyfriend to husband. What are you saying? Like, hey, now I need you to, or now I expect to share your location, sign up for the same bank account, like whatever. I don't know.
So I think that it just, so a husband is responsible for you. A wife is responsible for, like, you have responsibilities once you lock those in, right? Whereas when you're a boyfriend, girlfriend, those things start off small, and as you guys get stronger, it starts to take on more and more responsibility for each other, but it's not an actual responsibility. But you're doing the same things. Like, He's protecting you. He's making sure he holds your doors. You walking on a certain side of the street and all that type of stuff. You making sure that you're catering to him in ways. You're asking him, hey, did you eat, or how was work? Like, what do you need from me, and all that type of stuff. But as you kind of get closer, and eventually, like, some people move in before they get married, some people move in after they get married, and that's when the big, if you move in before you get married, obviously you're going to have a much bigger chunk of husband things that you're doing. Maybe all of them for the most part, right? But once you're a husband, you lock it in. That's the difference. It's signed. It's a contract now. So that's the big difference.